I'm Kelly Wentworth. I blog over here at worldofkellycraft.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Kennebunk, Maine, and I want to thank you for joining me today. I am just making sure that I am live on the other screen to make sure everything's working. Yeah, and it looks like it is. Wonderful. Again, thank you for joining me today. I am really excited. I cannot believe we are at week 5 of the 12 Weeks of Christmas series. We are almost halfway through, and I hope you've enjoyed every week the different projects that I've brought to you. I know I'm having fun with it, and I hope that I am inspiring you and giving you some ideas for your own crafting, and I hope you are enjoying it. So today we're going to get started. Let me get down on my put the camera down on my desktop here, and I just have a couple of announcements. Let me get that information. So we are still doing our biggest paper sale of the year, which is our Designer Series paper sale. 15% off on select papers from both our annual catalog and our mini catalog. So this is our biggest paper sale of the year. A great time for you to stock up on paper. If this is on your wish list, now is the time to get it. I'm excited this year because again, the sale includes paper from our new mini catalog as well. Last year it was just the annual catalog, and we have a great selection of papers here. We have holiday, we have some birthday, we have some greenery, we have some everyday plaids, we also have snowflake, we have Halloween, we have wood grain, which is so versatile to use. So lots of different papers to choose from. 15% off, so now is a great time to grab that. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. And if you don't have a catalog, you can reach out to me and I will make sure you get one. Just send me a message. I would be happy to do that if you don't have one. And you can also check out my website, which the link will be listed below. Okay, another quick update is we will be having a new sale coming up, a new release, coming up next month. It's called Curvy Celebrations. It's a new bundle that's going to be coming, or a suite of products that's going to be coming in the new catalog. That starts in January. Demonstrators are able to pre-order that this month. Mine is on its way. I hopefully will have it, I think, tomorrow. So I'm excited to play with this new bundle. I love dies that have curves in them. So makes the cards so beautiful, so many options. And if you would like to get early release products like I do, I would love to have you be part of my team. And the best deal in the catalog is always the starter kit. So if that's something that you're interested in, even if you want to be a discount shopper, now is a great time to do that with the holidays coming and get all your products at a discount. So let me know if that's something you're interested in, but stay tuned for this. Customers will be able to get it next month. So that's coming. And I have one more, just a quick note that I am doing a sampler swap opportunity. It's a free swap where we will make a 9x9 sampler, and it's by, what you basically do is, it's a Christmas themed swap, and you will make 9 identical squares. All the details are on my blog at worldofkellycraft.com. If this is something that you're interested in, would love to have you join us. Again, it's free. I'm coordinating with one of my Stampin' Up! Peers, and we're going to have fun with it. I'm in one right now, and basically what you do is you make 9 identical squares, keep one, send 8 to the other people in your group, and then you will get 8 back, and you will have a beautiful sampler home decor piece for your home for the holidays. So it's a great opportunity to do this. If this is something that you're interested in, again, all the details are on my blog, worldofkellycraft.com. Okay, so today we are going to be using the Christmas Gleaming stamp set and die punches. So this was a favorite from last year. This carried over. I was so excited because I used this a lot last year. It's a gorgeous holiday set, and it's a really good set if you like embossing. It's a great set to emboss with, and I am actually going to be embossing today in my the cards I'm making for you today. So this is in the. They brought it back, so it's on page 19 of the mini catalog. I'm also using the Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designer paper. This is also paper that we had last year that I was so excited that they carried over. And it's just got beautiful, you can see it's got copper foil in it. And it's got Berry Vanilla, Pretty Peacock, Night of Navy, Mossy Meadow. Beautiful, beautiful paper, and I'm going to be using some of this today in one of the cards as well. So let's get started. Okay, so the first card I'm going to make for you is this double Z-fold card. Isn't this pretty? This is using Mossy Meadow paper. It's also using the Designer Series paper from that paper pack that I just shared with you. It is very elegant. It's just beautiful. And I've used some vellum, and I embossed the ornaments here. So I will share the measurements with you in case you want to jot them down and make this card for yourself. That would be great. So we're starting off with Mossy Meadow cardstock, and you're going to need two pieces. One is going to be 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score that at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, which I've already done. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I have already done that. And then the other piece is 3 1/4 by 10, and I scored that at 4 1/2 and 7 1/4. And these are going to be used to make your double Z-fold. And you're going to want to burnish those well. So when you fold it, you can see that's why they call it a Z-fold card. Okay, so it's going to go like this. Okay. Burnish those edges so it folds nicely. And we're going to do the same on this one. Okay. And what happens is when you put them together, this is what it's going to look like. So this is going to be your double Z-fold. Okay. So I'm using, I just think this paper is just so gorgeous with the copper foil in it. And this piece of DSP is 3 by 4 1/4. And we're going to put that on, we're going to use the bigger piece first, the bigger Z-fold first, and we're going to put that right there. There is a right or wrong up and down on this. It's really pretty paper. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to monitor. And if you're here, please say hello if you can. You do need to be logged in to your Gmail account or your Google account in order to talk during a Facebook Live. So if you are on, please log in and say hello. I'd love to hear from you. And then there you go with that. Okay, and then on this one, it's going to go this way, and we're going to use another piece. I'm using the same DSP, and this one is 3 by 4 1/4, and the first one was 4 by 5 1/4. think I gave you the wrong, yeah, this one's the smaller one. So this one's 3 by 4 1/4. It's going to go on the front of the small. And this one is 4 by 5 1/4, which is our standard size, and that's going to go on the bigger one. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down. This is, I just love this paper at Christmas time, Mossy Meadow. And again, I'm going to burnish that again because you want that to fold really nice. So as you can see, this is starting to come together. Really easy to make. Take it step by step. Okay. And then we're going to use a piece of Very Vanilla, and that is 2 1/2 by 3, and that's going to go on your smaller piece over here for your saying. Okay. And then you're going to need some scrap vanilla because we're going to stamp, and I'm going to do that after, but I want to go ahead and do the embossing piece first. So I'm going to get my embossing stuff out. I usually don't like to do a lot of embossing on camera, but I love embossing, and I just think this stamp set is so pretty to do that with. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your embossing buddy. We used to sell these, we don't anymore, but you can get them at any craft store. And the embossing buddy, what it does is it takes the static out, and that way when you put your, when you actually stamp it and then you put your powder on it, it'll only go where you want it to go, hopefully. That's the plan. And then I'm using Versamark, which is a watermark stamp pad, perfect for embossing. And as you can see on this card, I really love these designs, and so I used one of each, and I'm actually embossing with copper embossing powder. Okay, so I wanted to do one of each because I couldn't decide, so I said, well, I'll do one of each. There's that one. And then the swirly one, which is so pretty. Okay, and what I do, let me close this up before I mess everything up. And again, I'm using the copper embossing powder, which matches the paper. Make sure that's, and we're just going to pour that over. And there's that. I'm going to put my gun on, get that warmed up, heat gun. And we have the other one. So you're going to hear the noise probably from the heat gun. Now, if you get any pieces around the edges, you can just kind of wipe them with your hands. This looks pretty good. And then what I do, brush it right back in. We used to sell these little trays. They've been retired a long time ago. I'm not sure why, but you can pick them up at any craft store, or you can use a piece of paper. Some people just use pieces of paper. Okay. Here we go. So you're going to hear the gun for a minute here. And if you watch, You're going to see it melt. It's going to melt the embossing powder. You can start to see it. See it? Is that showing up on camera? It really, once the gun is heated up, it does not take long at all. Now watch this one. It's already melting, and it just goes right up. There we go. It is that easy to do that. Okay, then we're going to use the punch, and we're going to punch it out. Just kind of center that in there. There's one. Okay. Oh, there is another piece of paper in there. Hang on. There we go. All right, and then we'll put the other one in. These smaller pieces, you can just kind of use if I just use my finger to kind of get it as centered as I can. There you go. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for saying hello. Sure if that's out or not. We'll look at it after. Okay, so there's your two pieces. Isn't that pretty? Is that showing up on the camera okay? Can you see the... And then what I did on the original was I just punched the third one out using the same DSP to accent it. So we'll just use a scrap of this. And that's how I got my 3 pieces. Okay, and I'm using a piece of vellum, and the vellum is 2.5 by 3 3/4. Vellum is really a great way to add elegance to your card, and sometimes it just doesn't get enough love. I tend to use it, it seems like more at Christmas time, but as you can see, I think it just adds a lot by having it. It just lightly goes over the DSP, but you can kind of see through it and still see the copper. So I think it's a nice touch. Now the thing about vellum, and let me get my, you're going to want to use your glue dots. So the thing about vellum, obviously, is it's see-through. So if you know you're going to be putting a piece of vellum on a piece of paper, put your glue dots underneath. Like I'm going to put mine in the center because it's going to be covered up by the ornaments, okay? So that way it won't even show, but it'll stick. And glue dots are a great way to stick vellum down with. So I'm just going to put it in the middle. I'm going to do one there and one there. Okay. And that's going to go on this one. And we're just going to, this is the small Z, so we're just going to center that on. And then the gold, the copper ones, I'm going to, these are just, you can see on this one, glued down flat, and then I put this one up on a dimensional. Okay. So, kind of get an idea where you want it. And the other one is going to go, yeah. And then we'll put the other one in the middle. And then this one we're going to pop up and give it some dimension. And we'll kind of stagger it. I'm not sure what's wrong with that one. Hang on. And I'm just going to kind of stagger that like right in the center of each. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? And then I used the Wonder of the Season combo. This is in the mini catalog. And it's like gold. It's almost like a thicker twine. And I'm just going to make a little bow to put on top of the ornament. Make it a little bit. There we go. It's kind of really long. Kind of fix it the way you want it. And I just think it really, again, adds a nice touch to it. And I'm going to use another glue dot right here. Now, you can roll these and you can just kind of put it where you want it. I kind of want it right in the center top of that. Makes it look like there's a little hook there. You like it, Sharon? Thank you. Yeah. You can kind of fiddle with it. You can have it. Yeah. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now, we need to add this to the card. So what I do is I put glue on the back of the small Z first, okay? And I put it kind of where I want it, and I kind of want it like centered there. Okay, then what I do is I do it this way. And then I just put glue on the end of this one. Okay. And that kind of works for me. That one's a little high. Let me see. That's a little bit high. Ooh. See if I can bring it down a little bit. This new glue is stronger than your regular glue, but it does give you a second to kind of play with it, I've noticed. Well, this one does. The other one is really... And then I would just kind of fold that flat. There you go. What do you think? Okay, and then this one, I'm using the Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. And I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. And again, that vanilla piece is 2.5 by 3. I'm glad you like it, Sharon. I love this set. I was so happy when they brought it back from last year. I was making this card yesterday, and my Mossy Meadow, I had to re-ink it because seemed like it was starting to run out a little bit. And then that just goes right on here like this. There. Isn't that pretty? Yes, Sharon, I always put the measurements out on my blog. So you can go over to worldofkellycraft.com. I try to do it within 24 hours. So, yes, I'll have that information out there for you always. Anytime you want to know how to make a card, it should be out there on my blog. Okay? There, I just think it's a beautiful color. And I just love the copper, and I just think the embossing really adds a lot to it. So I hope you like it. And wait till you see, I have another really pretty card for card number 2. Let me clean up a little bit here. Do you have this set, Sharon? Are you going to try to make it? Now remember, it takes for this video to upload on my channel, it never seems to go up until like the next morning. It's like an overnight cycle. It's like 12, I don't know, 18 hours, up to 24 hours, I guess it takes to upload. But once all of that gets done, tomorrow you should be able to see everything, and then I'll add it all to my blog. And then I was in the mood for, you're going to love this card. I think you're going to love it. Card number 2. What do you think? So this one, I was going for like the silver, the kind of the white on white. So what I did with this one is I used thick whisper white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I actually, again, I embossed both of these with the silver embossing powder. So the first one I did copper. This one I'm going to do silver. And then I used the twine from, I think it's from, it's in the mini catalog. And then this die right here, that is from, let me see, let me see. Yeah, I think it's Itty Bitty Christmas. Hang on. This bundle, and it's this die right here. Okay, this flourish. And I used the new blue paper, sparkle paper, to add that. And then because I was using the blue, I wanted to go with the blue and white, with the blue white silver twine to make the bows on the ornaments. And then I used the blue adhesive backed gems to add some bling, some more bling, because it's very blingy, but I think it's so pretty. And the other thing I did, I used the subtle embossing folder, and I used the rectangle squares. So I used the largest rectangle square for this layer. Okay, so I just cut it out of thick whisper white here, and I already did that for today, so you don't have to watch me do it. So I love these rectangle stitched dies. I use them a lot. And then once I cut it out of the thick whisper white, I embossed it with the subtle folder, which gives it just a little something. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Yeah, can you see it now, like up close? Let's see. It's just a little, but I didn't want to take away from the focal point of the card. So I just thought it was like really pretty. So subtle folder, rectangle stitch dies, very, very nice, very elegant card, but not a difficult card to make. So let's get started. So here is my thick whisper white. Make sure that, and it's thick, so you really want to give it a good crease. And then here is my stitched die. You can see I put it through the stitch folder, so you got the little, can you see that? And then I did the embossing folder here. So that's already done. Put this over here. And I popped that up on dimensional, so why don't we go ahead and do that now? I guess I was just in the embossing mode, but I just think it's so pretty. Again, using all my dimensionals. Cut them up when you get to the edges and get even more out of them. Okay, so let's take that off. Again, just another way to use this beautiful set. Actually, before I put it on there, well, it's okay. We can put it on. And then I already cut that out of the blue sparkle paper. And as you see, it just fits perfectly on there. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this to put that on. And I probably should use my mat. Hold on. I usually have one on this table, and I have one on my other table, but my granddaughter was here yesterday and she was kind of playing a little bit. And like, what's this, Graham? What's this? And put that back. And then we ended up using it for her school, because I have her for school on Mondays and Wednesdays. So, so the way I did this was just kind of very easy to just kind of that down. Whoop. And it'll just take a second to dry. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to do the embossing. So let's move this over. Let's get the embossing back out. And this time we're going to emboss with the silver embossing powder, okay? So let me just kind of wiped my tray to make sure there was nothing left on the inside of it. And to do that, put that there. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White, the thick, again. And on this one, I used just this one. I used the same. So we didn't use the swirly one on that one. We're going to use Versamark. But I need 2 of them. What do you think of this one, Sharon? All right, so there's that one. There's one. And 2, same one. And then you'll notice that I also have the Merry Christmas, which is this stamp. You see it looks black, but look how pretty it looks when you emboss it with silver. So on here it looks, see how, and it really pops the Merry Christmas. So I'm going to do that while I have this out. That way I can, and I'll just put it right in between and kill two birds with one stone. There's that. Oh, you know what I forgot? Hopefully, I didn't put the embossing buddy on. Did you catch that? Hopefully it'll be good. All right, so now we're going to use the silver. And again, I'm going to warm up my heat gun. And don't be afraid to put that powder on there. Get that right on there. And so you need a little bit more. And then let's see how this one comes out. See that? See, when you don't use the embossing powder, the embossing buddy, do you see the powder along? It's going to be okay because we're going to punch it out anyways, so we're not going to use that. But if you were adding this whole thing on, you might have an issue with it. So, you can take the brush and you can kind of, brush off some of that. But it really isn't gonna have an issue. And then you just pour it all back in. So you don't really use a lot at one time. It looks like you do, but you don't. A tub of this will last you a very long time. I'm glad you like it. All right. Now let's see. I'll use my watch that. See how quick when you run the gun first, how quick it melts? It just goes whoosh and it gets all down. And then this one. Just takes a second and it quickly melts it right down. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me clean this off. All right, now we need the punch. And we're going to punch these out again. Up. One. Punches make it so easy. Right there. Two. And then you have I'm just going to cut some of that off. Out of the way, and then I'll just manually trim that. Then you get all your embossing done in one shot. Then you can just use your snips and trim that up. And it's a little bit. There. See how pretty that comes out? Oh, that's a good picture right there. See that? Yeah, I was really happy when I made this. I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. Okay, so let's bring the card base back in. So what I did was I just kind of figured out like where I wanted to put them. And they're both going up on dimensionals. And one's going to be higher than the other. And I'm just putting like 2. That one's going to be about there. It's not a difficult card to make at all. And again, I'll have all the details on my blog. Yeah, get over there. And then this one I wanted a little bit lower. That. And then I put mini dimensionals on the sentiment. I think I have some minis here. I like white on white. I think it's a very elegant card, makes a very elegant card. And then I just thought using the blue glimmer paper that's in our mini catalog, this down here, that, and then I used, this is from the Flowers for Every Season, and it's got blue and white and silver, like it's got some white silver sparkle in it. So I thought that would accent the blue glimmer paper to make the bows. Oh, I don't like that one. Hold on. Let's go this way. And it has, you know, because it had the sparkle, and I just thought it would be a nice accent. Yeah. And again, I'm going to use a glue dot because we're going to put it right up there, like right underneath the hook. And again, you can kind of roll these a little bit and then put it where you want it. I put it right where the hook is, and then pop that down. And then we need to make another bow. I was very happy when I made, and I just made these cards. I wasn't sure what I had an idea what I was going to do today, and then I shifted gears a little bit. It's been a very busy week, and then I ended up making these cards because I was just crafting. I'm like, well, I think I'm going to do these ones today. And again, we're going to put that right underneath the hook. There. And just put that right down there. And you can kind of trim those up a little bit. It's really like your preference of how long you want them. You don't want the bows taken away from the card. And then we have these beautiful blue adhesive backed gems that I thought, oh, those will look pretty. And these are in the mini catalog also. So, and they're just so pretty. 1, 2. And you can kind of do as many or as little as you want. One up there. And we'll do maybe a big one and a small one down here. There. What do you think? Get the other ones. What do you think? Aren't they pretty? I love them. And like I said, I go through spells with embossing, but I just felt like both of these needed to be embossed, and I'm like, wow, I'm going to do 2 embossing cards on camera, but it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the cards. I hope you'll try to make them. I will have all of the details on my blog, worldofkellycraft.com, and the products that I use will also be listed there, and a link to my online store if you're interested. I would appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, as it helps me build my new channel and bring these videos to you. And I appreciate you watching. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.